welcome to another episode of Great People TV. Hope you're well and safe because tonight we're talking to someone who I like to call my not sister, even though she shares the same name as me, Ibrahim. That is Sarimah Ibrahim, an all around entertainer, host, singer, actress, and just all around entertainer. Because today, the topic is entertainment today. How do you look at entertainment versus how Sarima and I look at it? So, without further ado, let's welcome the one and only Sarimah Ibrahim. And like I said, everyone, here with us today is not my sister, but I've always wanted to say that. Sarimah Ibrahim, not my sister, but my good friend. Sarimah, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Ben. That's funny because people did ask me many, many times, have you got a sibling who's in the industry? And I was like, no, I have three siblings who are in a metal band, but not hosting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's one of the main reasons I asked you here, not because of your pure entertainment talents, because, like you just said, your family is all about entertainment as well. We're talking about entertainment today. How has
Yeah.
entertainment today changed from when we first started some years back to what it is today? What it is today because of digital, because of COVID, and just the way people consume content. So, before we
Yeah.
get there, just tell us a little bit about where are you now, Sarima, in terms of your entertainment career, because your entertainment career is always on the up.
Well, what I did was, I went full on for 22 years, like, from 18 all the way till 38. I just went, go, 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 like everything I could do. Um, I had that passion. I mean, I studied psych. I'm the eldest of four children. I'm the oldest. I'm the katlong, the oldest sister. And I guess I just always wanted to not rely on anyone and be very independent. So hence the drive to succeed and the drive to entertain probably. But if I were to sit here, it would probably take 3 hours to explain it to you. But where I'm at today is very much different to where I was 25 years ago when I started as a model and an actress and TV host and got into everything after that, singing and whatnot. I took a hiatus for 4 years prior to this because I wanted to be in the right headspace to get pregnant, um, and to take care of my daughter Sophia, which is your wife's name,
Exactly.
and I wanted to. Sophia are usually beautiful, so I'm sure your wife would
100%. Yeah.
say. So I wanted to be able to be a present mother for her. And the first 3 years are very important and formative, right? So I thought, well, I could jump back into it like a lot of moms do. And the thing is, I had the privilege of being able to not have to do that anymore. Whereas in the past, I had to work. So I decided to focus and take care of her. But the last year or so, that drive and that passion sort of, you could say I couldn't get it out of my head. I think once you're an entertainer, it's not so much the addiction that comes, the adrenaline and the dopamine and whatnot. That's part of it that happens to every entertainer in whatever means they entertain in. But more, I miss making people feel entertained. And I felt like I still had it in me. And a lot of people would say to me when they meet me, like, "Oh, you look good enough for TV still." And I'd be like, "Geez, thanks, thanks. Okay, well, that's good. So,
Ouch.
okay,
Yeah.
don't have to go to radio again." So I'm doing all right apparently, for appearances wise. Because let's be honest. Let's just be honest. That is part of the job.
Very
And
much
thank
so.
God I've been quite disciplined with fitness and health. It's something I love, martial arts and whatnot. So yeah, okay. So mommy's okay. She's all right. Mentally, I spent a good 3 years trying to get my headspace back into place, Ben. I very much spent a lot of time as a mental health advocate, because I went through a lot of postnatal depression. And I wanted to deliver that message across to the masses. And I did that during COVID through like almost 200 Zoom talks, um, advocating for it. And once I got my head sorted out and my body is okay, I said, "Well, let's do this again." I still have it in me, and I decided to go back. And Astro offered me at the right time, and I'm doing this show called Vaz Vaganza, which is the dissection or post show to the number one entertainment show right now in Malaysia, which is Gagavaganza, which is the singing competition. So I'm
Yes, yeah.
happy to be doing that. But I continue with my mental health advocacy on the side and
Nice, nice.
emceeing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where I'm.
wow, that's a really, really interesting journey, and we have noticed that you have deviated a little bit to the mental health space, and we've seen some of your workshops online and your posters.
Yeah,
Keep that up, by the way. It's a great piece of work. I do a little bit of mental health work here and there based on my experience with depression, and it's really I know you didn't say it, but I do agree with you that it is such a rewarding job. But on the topic of entertainment today, like you said just now, Sarima, you took some time off and then you came back to it, and even though you took some time off, the entertainment world changes every day. Now
it does.
TikTok is dominating the space. Who knows what's going to dominate the space in the next 3 4 years? So as
Hopefully, it'll
an
come full circle.
yeah, exactly. So as an entertainer,
Hmm.
how, I mean, two parts to the question really, how do you keep up with it, and how much, if you can sum it all up, how much has entertainment changed? Because someone once told me, look, singing, you have to get to the point very, very quickly.
The chorus.
Some singers can't do that because they were trained a certain way. No right or wrong answer. Your views, Sarma.
Yeah, I mean, we are a species that doesn't like to have to focus very long. Humankind, we want instant gratification. That's why we get taught as young toddlers to be patient, and we have to just learn self-control. But the thing is, I mean, obviously with anything, industrialization taught us this. There's a pro and a con. There's two sides to each coin. So everything's faster now. There's TikTok. Everything's within 30 seconds. Twitter is in 1 second or less. You say one thing wrong, there's no such thing as whoops, sorry, let me take that back. I've learned from it. We've all learned from it. The thing is, with that, obviously, I could say the pros are you can reach people faster, connection seems faster, but actually, it is a connection under the pretense of being connection. Is actually complete disconnection. And I say that because I feel like entertainment now is a disconnection. It's used more for a numbing out. So people go to the internet, and we've got a massive porn demic that's happening too. And I have to bring this up because I'll be doing a talk on this in this month, talking to an expert on this topic. Because what's come with TikTok and everything is there's a lack of boundaries under the pretense of freedom of speech and creativity. Now, I'm all for saying what you feel, and but I don't believe in not having consequences. You can say and do what you want in life, but you've always got consequences. And unfortunately, when the consequences start affecting the youth, and there's an addiction to pornography, and there's an awful lot of lack of boundaries, that's when I start going, am I going to pour oil all over my butt like Kim K did so that I can so I can break the internet? Never, 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 never. You could never pay me enough to do that. So I think there's this instant gratification problem, and I don't feel the need to keep up with it, Ben. So what I do is I'm not a big TikToker. What I do is I still continue to be me, and I feel like if I were to put out a lot of that kind of content, people would see me as not being genuine anymore because they know when I was born and they know what time I'm loyal to. So I believe in true connections rather than just putting out content for the sake of you looking at it and you liking it. um I just don't believe that virality, that everything going viral means connecting. I think we've misinterpreted that, and there's an awful lot of sad, lonely people. You've got keyboard warriors and whatnot, and an increase in depression as is an increase in the usage of social media. So I mean, we can't deny this. This is science and this is facts. So why? So I feel like, yes, we can give out more, we can see more, we can do more, but human beings have never been good with too much choice.
True
You
that.
know, when you've been given too much choice, you just lose the ability to sift through and pick what quality is. That's what I feel.
Nice.
So, like, what happens with me is I turn on Netflix and I just want to see a show, right? I just want to see a show to entertain myself at night and chill out with my husband. And it's just like I'm being bombarded with messages that I'm supposed to believe in. And it's like, this goes against my values. But I'm not judging anyone, but it's like, can you just stop trying to impose? There's an awful lot of imposing happening. And scenes that are just like, did I really need to see this person ripped to death so gory? Like, or did I really need to see this amount of sex in 2 seconds? So entertainment's changed. It's faster, there's more of it, we can reach more people, but we're not touching more people.
Right. I like that, and I really like it, Sarma. How why I like you and why we're friends is because that you're always straight up. You know, you don't change because of whatnot, and you do stand by to what you believe in, and God may that never change. So well done, and well done to sticking to your principles, because a lot of young entertainers, they sort of are a bit lalang because they go with where the opportunities are, and you can't blame them because
Can't
cari
blame them.
makan, feeding the rice bowl, especially if
Hey,
they
it's
have a
not easy,
family, it's not easy. It's not easy. But
it's
let's
hard.
let's tweak the next question a little bit, because you have clearly said that, which is great. You're yourself. I belong to this generation, so I will use that generational style to entertain my followers, my fans, and people who like my work, which is great. So you're not a fake. However, you're a mom
Yeah.
to a young, beautiful daughter, Sophia. You know, how has your entertainment palette changed being a mom versus being a single person some years back? You know,
Oh my
and how do you think about entertainment as a mom and as an individual in this day and age? And the second part of that question, if Sophia were to come up to you not long in the future and say, "Mommy, I want to be a YouTuber," because my son came up to me this morning and said the same thing, and
Right.
I'm trying to give him a balanced answer.
Without being biased, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I personally, I mean, I don't like, because my fear is that if they get into the digital space too young, because he's only 6 years old, they can be
Yeah.
narcissistics, that kind of negative personality, which
Right.
can be socially awkward sometimes.
Yeah, the pressure adds to that, right? Because
Exactly. And I don't want them to be that. I want them to be a person who fits in quite nicely and a person who respects everybody.
yeah, most importantly, respects himself, right?
100%.
Mm. You see, that's probably to answer your question where I'd probably come from straight out. I did a lot of studies in trauma and transgenerational trauma, and part of that is not all bad. I mean, it's the things that we're passed on, like qualities and values, like respect and whatnot, are good things. The problem with entertainment today is, like I said, there's an awful lot of imposing of values. Um, and I always say, I'm all for freedom of speech, but I'm just not for freedom of consequence. Because I think as human beings, we always need consequences, and that's what our children need, and they need to know, okay, you can say and do this, but if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So, for example, like, like now that I've got a daughter, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to explain to her that, it's not okay to go around dressed in a bikini or like, put naked selfies in the future. How do I
Exactly.
explain to her that this is not what you need to do to connect with people just because you get likes or something like that, or do something that's, out of her principles? um, I think it'll have to come down to self value. So if we can sort of just tell them you're enough as you are, whatever size and shape you are. Yes, there's all these pressures out there, and yeah, they may get all the likes and people might be popular because of that, but it doesn't last long. And I think we need to really discuss the effects of it, the negative effects too, because all we do, right, is talk about so many likes, so many followers, but we never talk about how many haters and how much psychological damage is being happening, and the addiction, like I mentioned earlier, to pornography or gambling that's happening to children as young as 5 years old are addicted to porn right now. It's destroying their brains. So I'm like, people are like, what do you mean? They can't possibly know what they're watching. It's natural. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's the hormones. Their brains are changing. It's been shown, when you have too much dopamine or too much serotonin from watching certain TV shows, your brain literally learns this is what I should be seeking out for the rest of my life. And there's a consequence for that. So gone are the days of our Smurf Ben and our, Fraggle Rock, where, the worst thing you see is someone being like shouted at. Now, unfortunately, there's things much, much more, terrifying than that. So as a mother, I'm trying to instill in her, like, you're okay being you, and let's talk about what happens if you do A or if you do B. I think children just need to know choices and consequences, because I can't stop her, neither can you.
No,
And
no, I can't.
whatever she does, I just want her to know, okay, if you go down this path, these are the options. And if you go down this path, these are also probably what's going to happen. Not like sweet talk it and not put just fear in there. So it's really tricky because when I was in my youth, I was like, I'm going to watch everything, nothing affects me, you know that feeling. Um, but when I look back on it now and I look back, I realized there were many things that I was brainwashed into, and ideas and ideals of how a woman should be, how a man should be, how society should be, that didn't serve me at all.
Wow. No, that's very interesting because like, and it's good that you're gonna have the courage to speak to her and have those tough conversations because a lot of parents keep the conversations pretty much cushy cushy lala, and
Yeah.
then the child might think everything's okay. So,
Yeah.
just two more questions, really, Sarima, on this topic because you've been very concise today. It's really really good. I think it's like almost like opening a book and getting all the right answers straight away, and thank you for that. That'll make
Thank
our viewers, you know, they will look at this and say, okay, yeah, I learned something from Sarimah today, and I always learn something from you, even when we're at events and stuff, even if it's small talk or big talk or whatnot. But right now, what I noticed that you're hosting such great shows at the moment in Malay and singing,
Yeah.
and sometimes your partner with young hosts, and without mentioning any names,
Yeah.
what do you tell them? What do you share with them about entertainment from
Oh God.
in terms of how our generation was taught versus how their generation is taught in terms of meeting that entertainment value in the middle for
I'm
today's
so
viewers?
I feel so awkward answering this because it makes me sound like an old auntie or like,
No,
a
you're
no,
not. You're not in.
you know.
You're not in your 50s or your 60s. You're not in that generation. So yeah.
I don't want to be patronizing and I don't want to be condescending because I believe that like even the younger ones, oh my God, I already sound like an old
You
fool.
said it. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so like newer entertainers, okay? They've got so much drive, they got so much passion, and I I never want to be the person who puts water on that and is a dampener to it. Do you know what I mean? Because like we've all been there, and I've made so many mistakes that I'm thankful I made. Because like if I never made the mistakes, I would never have had to struggle. And human beings without a sense of struggling achieve nothing. So I try not to prevent struggles in my children and whenever I work with someone, I'm like, okay, if their struggles are going to affect me and my reputation, let's be honest, I'm like, no, come on, calm down. Okay, this isn't about you or me, this is about the audience, and we're here as hosts. And one thing I don't agree upon is hosts thinking that they're number one and they're the sole focus of any event, because you're not there to be the star or the singer unless you are singing for that 3 minutes and then you go back to being host. You know your place. You know what I mean? um Gosh, I sound like a real old fogey there, didn't I?
No, no, no. You
Know
sound
your
like
place, for God's sakes. But do you know what I mean? Like respect, it comes down to respecting the space and the responsibility you've been given. So when I work with, and sometimes it's harder to work with seniors because they're like, no, I do it this way and I know more. So I think the younger ones are a bit more open. They're always like, there's two types. There's, I don't want to hear from you. You're old school. You're not relevant. And then there's the other type that's like, tell me everything. I need to know everything now. Download it into my system. So I'm always like, okay, whatever we're going to do right now together, let's be genuine about it and make sure that everybody gets a win. So I always go into something like, let's have a win together. Okay, and it doesn't
telling you.
matter who puts the ball in the who gets the ball in. You pass to me, I pass to you, the ball goes in, our team wins. The problem is there's a lot of people out there and entertainers, especially some hosts, that want to be the person who dribbles the ball and only they put it in for a slam dunk. Yeah, so that's not teamwork. So I always say, a big part of why I probably got hired a lot is because I always ask my co-hosts like, so what should we do now? You know? So what should we do now? What can we do next? Um, Not to be afraid of being vulnerable, just ask. Like, say, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I don't know. I don't think I can do this part, or maybe I'm not going to be funny. Can you help me? And I think that's what's missing. People are afraid to be vulnerable. And I think from an earlier generation, we weren't that afraid because we would just be like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this, lah. Seriously, because there was nobody recording and uploading those moments, and there was no sense of like shame for being vulnerable. So I think, when I'm working with someone, I always say to them, don't worry if you're scared, it's normal, because I'm really scared too. Because as much as you could go down with me, I could go down with you. So as long as we both win, everybody wins, you know?
Nice, nice. And look, that's I liked it how you used basketball metaphor because you're talking to a basketball commentator. So well done. but
Not too bad.
yeah, but final question, Sarima, because you've really given a lot of antidotes to the topic today, entertainment today, what entertainment was then, what entertainment was now, and what the entertainment could be in the future. But
Mm,
here, right here and now, where can viewers or fans of you and of music and entertainment and acting and hosting and all of the above find a
yeah.
bit more information about you in terms of a website or Facebook page? And maybe you can tease us a little bit about what's coming up next because 2022 is almost over. 2023
I
is around the
know.
corner.
It's crazy. I know. I can't believe it. I'm already going to be in my mid 40s by February. This is
Same,
not
same.
happening.
I'm turning.
But
So-
okay. I feel fitter and stronger now than I was when I was 25. Isn't that weird?
no, that makes sense. Makes sense. Renewed sense of purpose and of energy because parenthood does do that to you.
Yeah. I mean, it drains you, but it also gives you strength.
100%.
I think, okay, most people can catch me on my social media. I mean, that's where I'm at most of the time. I'm really big into
Instagram, Facebook,
yeah,
or
Instagram, and I'm a big real person. I'm trying to do TikTok, and I got on the bandwagon way too late. But it doesn't matter. And I'm a big Facebook person still. So I'll be doing a live on the subject of addiction, and that's going to be this month. So you can find
cool.
out more by following me on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm starting up TikTok a bit more. I just don't like having to fake stuff a lot. So I find that if I go on TikTok, I'm going to have to create something to entertain, and I'd rather just be me, and hopefully that's entertaining enough. Do you know what I mean? Um, and yeah, just I'm on social media, and of course I'm on Vaz Vaganza till the end of November every Sunday night at 11:30 p.m. It's a late show, but it's like anything with sports, it's the after game basically. So we'll be talking about what happened and how people feel as a result of the show, and I wanted to give that depth because I think it's missing in entertainment. No one really talks about how everyone's coping. We just talk about like how they perform.
Nice, nice. Well, Sarima, you've left us with a lot of good thoughts and points, and it all leads back to that wonderful word that we all talk about every day, but we all don't do as well as we should, which is all about respect. Respect the
Yeah.
people that you work with, respect the audience that you're talking to, and most importantly, respect yourself because we are all professionals. So, on behalf of Great People TV, thank you very much, Sarimah Ibrahim, not my sister, but my friend, for being with
Oh,
us here today. And if
you.
you do want to find out a bit more information on Sarimah, look at the link at below on our Great People TV channel right now. She's on Instagram, she's on TikTok, she's on Facebook, and she's on TV every Sunday night. And I can tell you this, Sarimah is a very entertaining person, not just because of she's funny, she's hilarious, and also a very good singer, but also because you can speak two languages at the same time, and not many people can do that. Look, Sarima, I can go on and on about you. Thank you so
Wah, ni
much for.
kena bayar ni belanja makan.
Oh yes, any makan you want. So
Thank you so
look
much.
forward to catching up with you soon, and make sure Jamie and Sophia comes along. That'll be and my
Yes,
Sophia too, and that will be a
yes.
great catch up session about parenthood and life.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Next topic, parenthood and life. Yes, let's do that.
All right, no
Love that.
worries. No worries, sir. And everybody, one last thing. Don't forget to follow Great People TV social media channels. On behalf of Sarimah Ibrahim, myself, Ben Ibrahim, and everybody here at Great People TV, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Stay safe.
Bye.
That's what I like about Sarimah. Short, sweet, to the point. She really knows what she's talking about. Thank you, Sarimah Ibrahim. Not my sister, but my very good friend, and all our friends here today on Great People TV for really giving a lot of substance to the topic entertainment today. No right or wrong answer. You guys have a point of view as well. On that note, I'm just going to say goodbye and take care. Don't forget to like all our social media handles right here on Great People TV. Be safe, everyone. And thanks for watching Great People TV. Catch you next week.